Hi Tyler, how's it going, man?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Good. Just how would you just sum up as a coach, like feeling after you winning 62-0 in the European knockout game?
Yeah, I mean, it's very satisfying, and just I think as coaches, we're really pleased to see just some of the hard work and some of the training transfer into a match. So I thought the lads put a massive performance out there, both sides of the ball, and it was pleasing to watch. But it wasn't always going our way. We had to really earn the right, and I enjoyed that part of it.
Just how obviously like put 62 on English team is something else, but like to keep the scoreboard now as well defensively. So how pleasing was that equally?
Yeah, very. I think we were put under massive pressure early in the match, and we managed to hold our line there and get back into an attacking position, which I think was massive for us. And that first 20 minutes we were under a lot of pressure. We used a lot of energy, but I think then the defence fed into the attacking performance, just got us some turnover ball, and yeah, look, the lads made the most of it. I think we had some nice passages, but the defence and attack was complementing each other.
Was there just asking on you there? You said it was still like the squad's in a brilliant place, like going into the game, like even like a lot of the Irish lads who were away for a long time and Six Nations maybe didn't go as plans. Just how good was that as a coach? They responded so well when you didn't have your full team together for so long.
Yeah, that was one of the challenges, to obviously have the squad in South Africa and have some training back here at base. But yeah, they managed to gel together, and yeah, it was a good training week, but it wasn't always smooth, and we had to iron a few things out and get alignment. And I think the thing you can't question is the effort and the intent that they brought. And even if there was some inaccuracies, it wasn't the biggest deal. So we enjoyed it. I think the players had a nice week. They enjoyed reconnecting and getting back together as one big squad. But I think it was definitely challenging. It was a great performance from them, and they got to take credit for that.
And I was just looking ahead to the game on Friday night. Obviously, Glasgow showed last year in their state they're more capable of going to difficult away grounds and winning to get silverware. Just how big chance will they be?
Yeah, I think they're a really impressive team. They'll be a huge challenge. Um, URC champions, and like you said, they did it a hard way around. So their current form, they're very dangerous on attack, and they're equally dangerous in defence. So a massive challenge for us, and I think the focus for us is just to refresh and get the energy levels back up, and try to get out there Friday night and give them a good crack.
It's lastly for me, how pleasing has the last few weeks been in the sense that you see some of the younger lads get that win, the Sharks have come awfully close to beating the Bulls, and then like some internationals come back and being able to do it Europe at a time when you see some of the French and even the English teams at the weekend really prioritise one competition over another. Just how pleasing as a coach is that Leinster can compete so well in both.
Yeah, it's very pleasing, and I think just the way our season maps out, we probably coach some of the URC lads a bit more, and that squad in South Africa, we've had a lot of contact time with them, and it's just really pleasing, and they understand that that's their opportunity, and I thought they performed really well over in South Africa, and the other matches as well throughout the season. So nice competition within the squad. Players are trying to crack into these big Champions Cup matches, and some guys want to get picked in the Irish squad, but then the guys coming back from Ireland also know that they're trying to perform well. It's just great competition, and when we all trained together, I think it was the first time in 3 months we were all in the same meeting room again. So it was nice to have everyone back, and the energy was great this week.
Thanks, sorry, best of the weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Any more questions there for Tyler? I know. Or sorry, Richie. I think you're trying to talk there, but you're on mute.
Yeah, I was on. Sorry, I was on mute there. Hey, Tyler.
How you doing? Yeah, good.
Just wondered how important has that split week that you had, where you were back on Irish soil with a bunch of the other coaches and a lot of the players as well that would have featured on Saturday. Is that something that's going to prove its importance not only this week just gone, but in the weeks to come?
Yeah, I think we made it important just from we gave it a lot of energy and effort. The content was around just aligning the Irish internationals back into the way we do things, and it wasn't necessarily a week of game planning for the Harlequins match. It was a bit of connection, reconnecting in alignment. But I think it gave us a kick start to getting those lads back into the blue jersey and performing well. But also, we had worked hard with the other squad that was in South Africa, so it's hard to split your resources, but I think everyone, management and players, did a great job through that challenging few weeks.
Was there an element of frustration? I know like Saturday can always be viewed as a best case scenario and how things can go both defensively and offensively, but is there also an element of frustration that there wasn't a bigger examination of your squad on Saturday?
Yeah, I think we can't choose either way. Like, we just play what's in front of us, and that was the result. We did a lot of things that we're really pleased with, and the meetings today, there were still things we're trying to improve and work on and put into practice. So that's both sides of the ball. I think we're not, disappointed or also not overly satisfied. It just is what it is. It was a great result, both sides of the ball, but there's still plenty of work-ons and probably a slightly different challenge coming this week as well. So we'll prepare for that and we'll give it all our energy and effort.
Is that something that's still hard to get used to, in that the challenges that do get posed, like you don't necessarily know from 1 week to the next who you are going to be playing. So there is, and they do change in terms of their outlook. You might be playing a Premiership team, you might be playing a URC team. As it goes on, you'll be going back to playing French teams again. That difficult kind of sidestepping is something to get used to as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, and obviously everyone's in the same boat. You kind of, assuming you're trying to win a match and you're prepping for a few teams that you could play, and we watch the match after hours and you're watching with anticipation what the result's going to be, and then you start nailing your energy into that team. And I think that's one of the great things around the competition, is you get the variety of kind of teams. Teams have different personalities, and you kind of come up with those and against those, and it's a great challenge. And I think the back-to-back weeks now, they just pose another challenge with your preparation, that you have less time, you're not quite sure. But hey, it's all part of it, and we're really enjoying it.
I'm not expecting you to say whether you wanted, Glasgow or otherwise, to be in this quarter-final, but when you're watching a match where it does get decided who you will play, do you naturally have a favourite as who you prefer when you're kind of in that situation?
I don't think you have a favourite, but you've prepped for both sides and you're expecting to see certain things, but then you're watching the game impartially. If Glasgow are on attack, you're trying to see how the Leicester's defending, and then likewise you're trying to do it. You can't actually put your attention into one side, so it's an interesting dynamic, but you're just watching, waiting for the result, and then you can crack on with the preparation you've done.
One more just on team news. James Ryan is out with a calf. Do we know the timeline yet, and when he can be expected back?
No, we haven't got the exact timeline yet, but it's obviously very unfortunate. We're going to miss him for obviously the weekend and the weekend coming up, and hopefully we get a clearer picture as this week goes on, if he can get back on feet or not.
Having RG Snyman being able to drop in there isn't a bad situation to be in, though, is it?
Yeah, it's not too bad at all. RG's a good man, and he's good to have on the field.
All right, Tyler, best of luck at the weekend.
Yeah, thanks very much.